Very exciting news today. 2 weeks ago, the United States suspended the Permanent Joint Board on Defense, an 86-year-old military partnership with Canada that has been running continuously since World War II, because Canada's Prime Minister gave a speech at Davos about middle powers working together. 2 weeks later, Germany's defense minister flew to Ottawa and offered to give Canada submarines off Germany's own production line. So not sell, not promise for someday in the future, give from Germany and Norway's existing orders, so Canada does not have to wait. And Norway's deputy defense minister said the quiet part out loud. They are not thinking of this as 3 separate fleets anymore. They are thinking of it as one common fleet, a shared European-Canadian submarine force patrolling the Arctic and the North Atlantic. The decision lands by the end of June. My name is Elle. I have a PhD in computer science and I use data analysis to spot patterns in geopolitics and economics. If you've been following this channel's playlist on Europe's decoupling from the United States, you already know the pattern. Defense, payments, cloud, AI, semiconductors, trade. Every system Europe once depended on Washington for is being rebuilt or replaced. But this story is different because it is not just Europe building for itself. This is Europe actively pulling Canada further into its orbit, filling the exact gap the United States just ripped open. Here's what's on the table right now. Canada needs 12 new submarines to replace its aging Victoria-class fleet, boats that were built in Britain in the 1980s and have been falling apart for years now. The program is called the Canadian Patrol Submarine Project, and the total contract value is 60 billion Canadian dollars, potentially reaching 120 billion over the full life cycle when maintenance and sustainment are included. In August 2025, Ottawa narrowed the competition to 2 finalists, Germany's ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems offering the Type 212CD and South Korea's Hanwha Ocean offering the KSS-3 Batch 2. Prime Minister Mark Carney has said he expects a decision by the end of June 2026. The German-Norwegian pitch now is extraordinary. The Type 212CD is a joint German-Norwegian design, which is a next-generation diesel-electric submarine with hydrogen fuel cell air-independent propulsion, which means it can stay submerged for weeks without surfacing or snorkeling. The hull is coated in radar-absorbent material. It runs completely silent and is invisible to underwater magnetic sensors. It is optimized for stealth in exactly the kind of waters Canada needs to patrol, the Arctic, the North Atlantic, the approaches that NATO has been worrying about since Russia started pushing back into the high north. The Type 212 family is already in service with the German and Italian navies, so this is not exactly a concept on a PowerPoint slide. It is a proven platform with a next-generation upgrade. Germany is currently building 6 of these boats. Norway expanded its own order from 4 to 6 back in January 2026, and now both countries are offering to temporarily give up production slots from their own orders so Canada can receive 4 submarines by 2036 without waiting for new construction capacity to come online. Germany and Norway will take their own boats later, so this is not exactly a sales pitch, it's more an alliance declaration. If you're trying to understand how to spot the difference between a transactional arms deal and a structural realignment like this, my book, Awake, the Practice of Critical Thinking in an Age of Soft Lies, is available as an ebook and audiobook. Subscribers get 10% off, and you can grab the first chapter for free in the description links below. Further to that, the economics are staggering. Germany's bid includes an $86 billion boost to Canadian GDP and an average of 50,000 jobs per year over the first 5 years. The package covers shipbuilding, critical minerals investment, missile production, port infrastructure, and energy projects spread across the country. 2 submarine maintenance facilities would be built in Canada, 1 on each coast. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius referenced these numbers directly as CANZAC, Canada's biggest annual defense trade show, which is itself significant. The German and Norwegian defense ministers showing up in Ottawa together in person to make this case. The combined fleet, if Canada signs, would be 24 Type 212CD submarines across 3 countries. That is a NATO submarine community built entirely outside the American system. And that is the part that actually matters the most. Remember, Canada was excluded from AUKUS, the US, UK, Australia submarine pact back in 2021. Ottawa was not invited. It was not even told in advance. A former Australian Prime Minister said Canada was left out because it did not want nuclear submarines. Canada is a Five Eyes member, a founding NATO ally, shares the longest undefended border in the world with the United States, and it was not even given a phone call. That stung, understandably. And then in May 2026, the Pentagon suspended the Permanent Joint Board on Defense, which is the oldest continuous bilateral defense institution in the Western world, because Elbridge Colby, the U.S. Undersecretary of Defense, decided that Canada's Davos rhetoric about middle powers was insufficiently deferential. He posted it on X. That is how 86 years of military partnership got paused, a social media post, basically. Carney's response was telling. He didn't panic, he didn't grovel. He said Canada would continue cooperating with Washington, but also diversified its defense partnerships. He specifically mentioned Ukraine and NATO. He specifically did not mention the United States as the center of gravity. And then 10 days later, Germany and Norway showed up in Ottawa with the biggest defense package in Canadian history. The South Korean bid is the real competition, and it deserves honest treatment. Hanwha Ocean sailed a KSS-3 submarine 15,000 kilometers across the Pacific to dock at a Canadian naval base, which is the longest voyage in South Korean submarine history, as just a demonstration of capability. That is a spectacular piece of marketing, I think. Hanwha is promising 4 boats by 2035, a full year earlier than Germany, and has pledged $70 billion in economic benefits. The KSS-3 is a bigger boat, over 4,000 tons submerged, with lithium-ion batteries and a vertical launch system for missiles. Ottawa even considered splitting the order, 6 from each bidder. But the German-Norwegian pitch has something Hanwha cannot offer, a shared fleet with 2 NATO allies who patrol the same waters Canada needs to defend, with interoperable crews, shared logistics, and joint maintenance infrastructure. So that is not exactly just a procurement decision. It's more a foreign policy decision as well. Here's where this goes from now on. I think Canada will choose the German-Norwegian bid by the end of June, possibly with a small portion of the contract going to Hanwha as a compromise to preserve the South Korean relationship. The Type 212CD deal will become, I think, the foundation of a formal Canada-Germany-Norway Arctic security partnership that functions as a mini-alliance for the Atlantic, built entirely without Washington. I think within 18 months, at least one more European country will join the Type 212CD program, most likely the Netherlands or Denmark, both of which share Arctic and North Atlantic security interests. And Carney's middle power strategy, which the Pentagon tried to punish him for at Davos, will become the template for how medium-sized democracies build defense capacity outside the U.S. system. I think the irony is perfect here. The United States suspended an 86-year-old partnership over a speech about middle powers cooperating. Europe responded by offering $60 billion in submarines and 50,000 jobs. Washington tried to isolate Canada for daring to suggest that allies should diversify, and Germany and Norway walked into Ottawa and basically said, please diversify with us. The math is not exactly complicated here. But if Canada is diversifying away from the US on submarines, what about the fighter jets? Because right now, Ottawa is still reviewing whether to go ahead with buying 88 American-made F-35s, and that decision is about to get very political. I made a separate video especially on that. That's the one that I would watch next. Thanks so much for watching this one. Subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.